How you guys doing? I know I've not been very busy on YouTube, but been doing a lot of work on 3D stuff and working on the home, and life itself keeps you busy. So I'm going to show you main project I'm working on right now, and one of the little side projects. So have a look at this. So this is basically an SCX10, but it's a short wheelbase SCX10 from Boom Racing. I got the Boom Racing shock towers, bit of a cheapy transmission, but it's got metal gears inside, and a homemade battery plate. I 3D printed a skid plate that's really low profile or high clearance, if you will, because it really doesn't stick out a lot. And I found this gear that I had in my things, but it's a bit small. Don't know if it's going to be usable. I figured I would use axles that I have laying around from Tamiya CR01. I guess I'll build a crawler, an actual crawler with it. I have my CR01 down there. You can see it right behind the Pajero. This guy here. These are completely stock axles, so I'm going to swap them over. Put the good axles on the CR01 and put the regular ones on this guy. And I reckon I'll put these tires on it. Basically Proline USA old school beadlocks with some unknown tires. It's basically a spare parts build. I've been using whatever it is I have laying around, and that's what it's going to be. So far, it's turning out to be pretty good. Painted the frame rails and the gearbox basically military flat green, and not sure which motor I'm going to put in. This is a 35 turn motor. Considering this guy, but it depends which axles I put in. I was considering these guys. These are HG 402 and 407 axles. They are actually 4-to-1 reduction built right into it. But they're fairly cheap. I did install bearings in them. They seem to run fine, but I'm not quite sure about the way they're set up. They might not do well, so we'll see. I think I'd prefer to put the Tamiya ones in. Besides, I think the Tamiya ones are wider, possibly. Not by much, but yeah, they're a little bit wider. Another thing I've been working on is an old grasshopper, for which I installed pretty big tires on. But I also designed a new rear suspension for it. It's all black, it's getting a bit harder to see. You can see the part right here. See all that part, see it goes through the bottom, through the inside of the gearbox. It's basically a symmetrical piece on each side. And you got the new inserts here that have a mount for a link. Now what that does is gives you a better functioning suspension. As you can see, it's kind of hard to operate in one hand, but still a bit of tweaking to do. But seems to work pretty good. Also picked up this little guy about a week ago, and I figured it would make a really cool conversion. It's in pretty good shape. I didn't get the remote with it, but it cost me like $3 at the thrift store. Check out that camber now. And when you turn the wheel, Luigi move side to side. Now I haven't opened it up, so I don't know how much room there really is in there, but it does have a diff, so who knows? I've seen and read about people actually modifying these with brushless, and it actually doing pretty good. So we'll see what happens with this guy. So those of you that are following me on Instagram and even Facebook might know that I've been doing a lot of 3D designing and selling. A lot of people asking me for stuff, so obviously you have to bring in the extra money. So what I've been doing is making workbenches. It's kind of hard to see here. Let me bring this into the light. Basically a 1/10 scale workbench. Let me show you the other stuff I've been working on. Here's you go, 1/10 scale tire balancer. It actually works too. So you install your wheel, and basically what it does is it rotates, and basically the heaviest part ends up at the bottom. So you can technically actually balance your RC wheels if you really wanted to. The blue one, these two are already weathered, that's why they look a bit dirty. And then you have these toolboxes, which are also fully functional. Now, the drawers are a little difficult to open with one hand, but generally, there we go. So what I do with the 3D work is I create items like that, and I will put them on my website, which is tlw3d.com. TLW, obviously the LED wheel. So you can buy the STL files, but I will also print them for you if you don't have a printer, and so on and so forth. So if you're interested, you can always give me a shout. Oh yeah, check this out. I gotta find it here. These little guys. It's a fully functional vise. Yeah. So again, all the STL files are available on my site. If they're not available, they will be. I also put it on Shapeway. I find they're a bit expensive, especially for certain things, certain larger items. For instance, I put a trailer, an RC trailer, that's also on TLW3D. I put it up on Shapeway, and they wanted somewhere along the lines of $1,000 to print it. That is utterly ridiculous. So that's it for now. I guess I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll try and keep you posted on my current projects. See ya.